Assalamu alaikum everyone, and welcome back to Meals with Minnie. Today's video is super exciting because I've actually been trying to make this video for like 2 to 3 weeks now, but we have family visiting and Minnie. So that's why it's been put off. I have maybe 20 minutes right now to get this video done, so we're gonna get right into it. Okay, so a lot of people have been asking me questions about my pregnancy, whether they are first-time moms, OG moms, or they are expecting, or they will plan to get pregnant soon. And I remember doing a lot of research, constantly being on my laptop, on my phone, searching up all these symptoms of pregnancy and all of that stuff. But this video is going to be PG, just because in our culture we don't, I don't feel comfortable sharing nitty-gritty information on the internet. So if you have private questions and stuff like that, or if you want to know more, you can feel free to message me privately on my Instagram or text or in person, however it may be. Let's see if I can post some random pictures of food or activities here and there when I was pregnant. I don't want to show exactly what I looked like during pregnancy because I did keep it a secret throughout the whole pregnancy. I didn't post any pictures of myself or announce my pregnancy on social media because my family and I just like to keep it private that way, and that is your opinion, you know, you do you. Okay, so one of the first questions people always ask me about my pregnancy was, did I have any food aversions? Of course I had food aversions. And if I remember correctly, one of the very first food aversions I had was seafood or fish. And this is when we didn't realize I was pregnant yet. I was at work. I opened my lunchbox. I had made salmon that day for both my husband and I. It was lunchtime. I opened the Tupperware and I immediately gagged and I threw up. So I was eating lunch in my car. I opened the door and I threw up, and immediately I text Hassan and I'm like, babe, like, don't eat the fish, it's gone bad. This was before, obviously, we knew I was pregnant, so the fish, in fact, was not bad. Hassan ate it. He was fine. Okay, another food aversion I had, which was very odd to me, was coffee. So this was a little later on during my pregnancy, after I found out. I think I was like maybe 2 months. The smell of coffee in the morning was absolutely revolting. And it was almost like this is the worst smell on the planet. So for my first and second trimesters, I wasn't able to drink coffee, and I am a huge coffee drinker. Like, I need at least 1 glass a day. So that was weird. But yeah, I think those were my only 2 food aversions. The seafood lasted throughout the whole pregnancy. But as soon as I had Zahra, I was back to normal, and I was able to smell seafood, fish, eat it, all of that good stuff. Okay, question 2, what were some of my cravings? This is a fun one because they were all things I didn't normally eat like every single day before getting pregnant. So the very first one was cutie oranges. Oh my god, like I needed 5 or 6 at a time, and when that craving hit, it was just like, oh my god, just keep giving me cutie oranges. So that was one. Eggo waffles. Yeah. Those frozen waffles that you get in the packets, those were a craving, and I needed to have those every single day for breakfast. It kind of tapered off second and third trimester, but the first trimester, that is what I lived off of. Barbecue sauce, not with everything. Yeah, so I would have barbecue sauce with French fries, onion rings, JoJo's, wings, all of that stuff. And then I think my last craving This was mostly a third trimester only craving. I didn't get it prior to that. It was cookies and milk. I may or may not still have that craving. Question numero 3. What was my first symptom? This is a weird one. It's not like your normal symptoms that you read about online. This was something like I wouldn't even have guessed. I was pregnant. It wasn't nausea. It wasn't like anything like that. It was congestion. It was a really weird symptom. So this was like, I think this was probably super, super early in the pregnancy. Nobody knew about it. I think if you even took a test at that time, it wouldn't show up positive. But it was so bad, like I was so congested. I remember going to the doctor for it, and they're like, no, your nose is clear, your ears are clear, so we don't know, you know. And after doing some research, after I found out I was pregnant, it made more sense. Did I exercise during my pregnancy is the 4th question that I get asked most commonly. Yes, but I was also working out before, you know, I was pregnant, lifting weights, cardio, all of that good stuff. I really like to stay fit and healthy, and honestly, it's like a mental stress reliever for me, so that's part of my daily life, alhamdulillah. I did work out throughout my pregnancy, so like the half of the first trimester when I didn't know I was pregnant, I was still lifting heavy weights. Make sure if you're lifting weights and if they're heavy, ask your OBGYN before continuing that throughout your pregnancy, because everyone's different. Once I found out I was pregnant, I laid off on the weights a little bit and continued with cardio, walking every single day. Sorry, I had to adjust the camera because it kept sliding down. Okay, so another question people ask me is, did I work during pregnancy? Yes, I worked because I was finishing my master's at the time, which I did, alhamdulillah, end up graduating 2 months before I had Zahra. So I finished my master's. I did continue working up until like right as my second trimester started. I worked full-time because I needed to pay off my master's. We're very lucky we had help from family, so we were staying with family at the time, that we didn't have other like big bills like that, except obviously like our car insurance, phone bills and stuff. But other than that, I was only working to pay off my master's. So I guess this is question 6, I think. Did I have morning sickness? Yes, I did. And it was really bad. So I would throw up like, I think every time I would eat, unless it was a craving. So unless it was oranges, Eggo waffles, barbecue sauce, or cookies and milk, I would throw up. This only lasted literally from when my first trimester started, or like a week or 2 after, and then right as my first trimester ended. So it was like an on-off switch for me. It's different for everybody, but yeah, and there was a few triggers. So if I knew there was seafood or coffee or stuff like that, like I would 100% I would throw up. So I just had to, I did lose weight my first trimester because of that, but then I gained healthy weight. And one of the final questions I get asked is, so I had a high-risk pregnancy. For those of you that may not know, the question was, why was my pregnancy considered high risk? I'm a healthy, young person, so why was it high risk? Well, I found out during my, I believe it was my 3rd trimester, that Zahra was not gaining sufficient weight. So that was one reason why it was considered high risk. When you go in for your OBGYN appointments towards the 3rd trimester, they'll measure your belly, your fundal height, and if that doesn't match up to what their chart says, then they'll send you to a high-risk doctor. In addition to that, I thought I had cholestasis, So towards my third trimester, I started to develop this severe itching all over my body. Mostly happened at night, and so when I told my doctors, they were like worried for cholestasis, which is a liver disease, which is another reason why they sent me to the high-risk doctor. They did blood work and everything. It turned out fine. I didn't have cholestasis. Nobody really found out what I had or why I was so itchy. It's like the palms of your hands, bottom of your feet type of thing, and it was like matching up the cholestasis symptoms. But I did have intrauterine growth restriction, and sometimes they can't pick that up on the ultrasound when you go to your high-risk appointments. So we did find out after Zahra was born that like the cord was around her neck. Alhamdulillah, by the grace of Allah, she is healthy and fine, and yeah. Okay, so those are pretty much the questions that I get asked very frequently. But if you guys want another QA session about my pregnancy, what I did pre or post, let me know in the comments below. If you have any other questions, just message me on my Instagram, Kinza's Cakes, and I'll try to get back to you guys. But this was so much fun, and I have been trying to film this for so long, so I am glad we got to do this. I'm glad we got to do this. Assalamu alaikum, and I'll see you guys all next time.